Is doing, let me know what's going on. Thank you for tuning into the WardiTV Invitational. Number 9 is in the bottom right hand side. Our red Protoss player is Hurricane. Up against our blue Terran in the top left, Bunny. We're going to play best of 5 in the end. They did decide. So away we go. Game 1 of this series. As our pro production begins, we're going to see our depot going down. And away we go. Loser of this is eliminated. The winner of this will be advancing through to the quarterfinals. So Barracks dropping down, and you're just going to be seeing our gateway dropping in from Hurricane, getting that ready to go as our assimilator going to finish up. Chillin' Jedi doing well. HGS brother studying for molecular genetics exam you have in 3 hours. I feel like you're not studying very well if you're watching StarCraft though. So good luck in your exam. I mean, I'm not complaining. You know, I used to have the... So, when I used to study for university, my university exams, the way I studied the best was not going to the library. It was not going to, like, you know, it was not kind of setting myself in a different room and peace and quiet. It wasn't background music. My best way of studying was playing RuneScape. And that sounds really dumb. But what I did was, I just did, you know, RuneScape, a pretty, you know, game where oftentimes you can AFK and stuff, right? So... what happened was, because I would sit there and play RuneScape, I'd be kind of dedicated. I'd be like, man, okay, I want to hit like my next woodcutting level a day. So I'm just going to sit here and woodcut all day and study. And obviously I like keep studying. And it's really nice because every like, you know, every now and then you just click up, you look up and you like click on a different tree. It doesn't really take your attention away or anything. And every like, you know, for 5 to 10 minutes, you got to run to the bank and back. It's like a couple, you know, seconds breather. And then every hour and a half I did a farm run. Farmed some herbs, made some money, and it was a nice little study break. And that's how I got max woodcutting on old school RuneScape and passed all my exams. It really worked though, because it meant I would literally just sit and study for 16 hours, and I'd be like, man, I made some really good woodcutting progress today. And I learned what was going on. It worked so much better for me than anything else because it just gave me that sort of focus to like sit down and sit there and keep working, you know. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just feel as though when I used to study at the like library and stuff, I just like got distracted, didn't really do as much, didn't stay for as long. So yeah, it was it's kind of funny, really. Two Adept showing up early from Hurricane as Bunny is going to kill off one of those, and the Adept here will shade into the main, so that's going to be committed, and feels like both of these Adepts will go down without really doing much. That's going to be a shade away again, or at least an attempt to. The SCV there is low HP. The Adept goes down before the shade. So yeah, as we set up, it is a proxied armory, so we're going to see Drilling Claws from Bunny. He did this build against Trap twice in a row in the China Team Championship playoffs. As you do see, the starport is going to finish up in the main base in just a moment. That Reaper of Bunny hops up to the high ground here, coming down along the bottom, looking to see what it can do. Reaper into the main base. Stalker is going to be firing on that Reaper right away. And the Reaper will go down here in the end. Claws then on the way up. So what this allows you to do is, I mean, against an observer, opening the robo opening, it's pretty... This is like the best opening you can have as Hurricane. If this is like a Stargate, so it becomes very troubling having enough oracles to, you know, revelate all of those Widow Mines time after time. He's got quite a lot of Stalkers here, by the way. Actually, this is 5 gates, so very aggressive out of Hurricane. Actually, Bunny might just die, because Widow Mines aren't really going to help much when fighting against all of these Stalkers. A Cyclone comes down the ramp. It'll lock on, but obviously Warpers and Micro gets rid of that lock, and Hurricane might just kill Bunny right here and now. These Stalkers coming forward. Multiple SCVs dropping down already. 4, 5 workers already dead here. 6, 7. Oh God, let's see what the Widowmine drop does as it is going to unload now. Widowmine 1, 2 will burrow, and I mean, it's a good amount of workers. 5, but not quite anything compared to the 11. This Widowmine here could be big. A lot of these Stalkers super low HP, by the way. Scans the Observer. That's really nice, but he can Warp Prism Micro against this Widowmine, which is what he tries to do. Still gets a Stalker kill, actually, because of the splash damage. And the tank siege is up, so maybe Bunny will make a hold from this in the end. A lot of this just kind of about buying time as Stalkers come a bit further to the right, so the tank will reposition. Obviously, Hurricane's kind of committed to this. He does now have a Twilight, but yet to use it, a Forge as well. So his transition is getting ready to go. It's just not ready yet. This Widowmine is going to go off in a moment. If Hurricane doesn't remember that that is there, this could hurt him quite a bit. He does move away just before it becomes activated once again. So that's real important as you see this factory going to drop down. You see the barracks. 2 barracks dropping in. To the main Viking. A good few shots to hit that Warp Prism, and just going to see the medevac. A few Marines in it going to go over to the left. Blink +1 attack. Continue to come on down here. Stalkers still moving over to the side, and this Observer also just coming left as well. A 3rd Nexus then on the way down from Hurricane, building this up and getting this ready to go as we do have the extra barracks coming in. A couple more Marines on the way out. Rover Bay from Hurricane drops down in the main base. Again, that's set up and ready to go as well here. We're just going to see this Observer flying around in the top side of the map, and that medevac from Bunny will continue along the bottom. So medevac will continue along. The Stalkers in the center. Warp Prism on the left. Here comes some Marines going to unload into this mineral line, and already a good few probes starting to go down. 2 probes picked off there. This medevac will take a few Marines into the main base mineral line now instead, and just going to be seeing 5 workers picked off, so good little drop from Bunny, good little counter aggression. Now Blink +1 will come online for Hurricane, but you actually see the 3rd CC up here from Bunny, so he's going to have 3 bases to work with as well. Remember, if you're cheering for equal racial balance in the round of 8, you're kind of cheering against Hurricane here. We have 4 Protoss players already in the round of 8. Hopefully we have something that can be brought together here. I mean, Hurricanes, I love Hurricane, but we've just got so many Protoss already. Anyways, let's see. Did you see the 2 medevacs making their way down the right side? Stalkers coming forward, going to blink, and that's a dead medevac. Medevac number 2 takes some damage, but will go to the main. Stalkers will blink here. These medevacs will probably go down. That was a big loss from Bunny. He just lost 3 medevacs of units and achieved nothing at all. So that didn't work too well. You have the Warp Prism out over to the left. Widowmines are still coming in every now and then. This only killed 1 probe, though. I mean, it's annoying because they still have drilling claws, but, well, Bunny, he does know at least about the Colossus, so that's good information for him. Will he keep making Widowmines? For now, he has been. Typically, you'd either start a 2nd starport and build Vikings, or you'd maybe build tanks so you can target fire Colossus down. Tank will siege. Rest of the bio just hanging out the front here. Stalkers pressing forwards. The mine goes off but doesn't do too much as the Stalkers blink away there. More units from Hurricane into the middle of the map. Armory on the left hand side, and just going to be seeing 2 more Liberators, 2 more Widowmines, 2 more Refineries, 2s of everything, 2 Marauders, 2 lots of 2 Marines. Yeah, and soon you'll have 2 upgrades. 1-1 about to finish up here. The Warp Prism is on the way from Hurricane, so he's looking to get aggressive again. Observer shot down by the missile turret of all things. Just kind of wandered a bit too far forwards. And 4 High Templar in the production tab. +1 armor on the way up. The Warp Prism found and killed. Removed from the game just like that. This Bioforce continues down the left. Stalkers. Colossus. All hanging around. Yeah, the armory hidden away. I mean, that's just because he went for drilling claws early, right? So It's proxy because you hide the scout of it being drilling close, so it makes it very difficult to know what's going on. Base trade, perhaps. This third Nexus is going to go down real quick. Obviously, Hurricane will just dive up towards the main base already. He's actually going to go for the third initially. I feel like Bunny should be... I mean, Bunny hasn't stimmed here, which feels like a big mistake. What does he have in the main? Not really a lot. He's starting to lose his natural orbital. And Bunny is really taking this very slow over here, and I feel that's just a massive mistake, because the faster you go now, the faster you get on top of production, the faster you shut this game down, and this is just going to go into full-on base trade mode. But he needs to prioritize a little bit. Pylons, Nexuses, those are the kind of things that will go a long way to help him. He scans and he sees this base coming up on this side. He's going to get this pylon just as these Stalkers finish. So Stalkers will get to move away. This Nexus in some trouble. Recall from Hurricane? I don't think so, actually. I think he's probably just kind of doomed to sit back in this scenario. How many probes are left? 14? Most of those in this main base. That's 10 of them. A couple more on this natural as well. So there's one probe perhaps out on the map. We'll see. We'll keep an eye out to see where that may be. There's the recall actually from Hurricane. So he does get here, but what a weird position for him to fight in. But the siege tank's obviously firing quite nicely. And he just took so many shots as he recalled in as well. The Colossus are pretty much dead already. There's only one left over. And the tank especially is just going to make this very difficult. He will lose his Nexus, but he still has the main. There's a few Stalkers out over here. Hey, how are we doing on observers? There's 2 on the map. They're important because those Widow Mines otherwise will just never properly be dealt with. Oh, Widow Mines burrowing up, and well, Bunny has got Hurricane down to no Nexus. The probes remain alive in the corner. The Colossus trying to fight from a distance. This is where the siege tank needs to try and target fire the Colossus down. Remember, you've got that army coming in from the other side as well. The Widow Mine will hit the Archon. I mean, that's going to go down instantly almost. Stalker's going to start coming in here, and what does the Bio go for, actually? I don't know what the best move is. Okay, he's going to lift and leave. I felt like, actually, he might have been good to just go for... Oh, he's going to try and fight here, actually. The Colossus takes ages to come down this ramp and join in this fight. Stalkers will blink. That should be a dead medevac, although more and more Stalkers going down. There's a lot of units being killed here by Bunny. I mean, obviously, Bunny is taking losses as well. Boosts away up the top. Looks like he's away there. Base mining, second base muling. Barracks on the way back up. Well, Bio being made. Hurricane coming across the map. He's got Stalkers, a Colossus, an Archon, and 2 Zealots. It's not a lot. And he's going to go blinking straight into a Widow Mine. So that's 1 dead Stalker already. Those Widow Mines are picking up a lot of kills this game so far. Hurricane has the money to rebuild his Nexus and rebuilds it out the front. I still don't know where that last probe is. That's just hidden somewhere. There must be one somewhere. I just don't know about. I'm going to quickly find that probe. It's bugging me. Oh no, is this... There we go. It is here as well. So all those probes are now back together. Couple of Marauders on the way out, and this Bioforce kind of moving up into the main. Where's the medevac of units? Out to the right-hand side. And this orbital's going to go down. So actually, I mean, those 3 orbitals kept alive, so not the end of the world to lose one of them. Attack up this ramp into the main. I mean, this is where a lot of the production is, so Bunny will be looking for a fight. Widow Mine's going to try and make their way into this fight as well. Remember, Observer is here, so can't help. Archon going to take a lot of damage, and Archon will go down in this. The Colossus is being jumped on by the Marauders, and that should be game. Colossus and the Stalkers go down. Bunny picks up game 1. Great ways to support the stream and to help us keep producing the StarCraft content. We've got a Twitch Prime sub. That's free, hasn't been used yet. Consider using it. It goes a long way to helping out as well. As in the bottom right, our red Terran player. It is Bunny. Up 1-0 in this best of 5. And in the top left, our blue Protoss Hurricane. Hurricane kind of fell behind early. I feel the initial attack didn't do well, but then Bunny lost those 3 medevacs. Those 3 medevacs were really quite something, actually. They were a lot of supply, and pretty much the entire lead of Bunny just disappearing just like that. So you can see this probe of Hurricane into the bottom right hand corner. SCV nibbling away at the probe in the main, Nexus on the way up on the natural, and Reaper will start from Bunny. So again, that Reaper up and running, gonna be rallied out the front already as well. As we'll see an early expansion on both sides of Thunderbird here to get this one started. So away we go. Out over to the side. Bro continues all the way up into that top left-hand corner. Stargate on the way in the main base, and we do see the Adept about to complete. So a bit of a different tech choice from Hurricane this time, rather than that Robo and the aggressive Warp Prism with 5 gateways. Stargate typically leading to more of a macro-focused game. I mean, obviously you get to see what Bunny does here as well. Without Drilling Claws, the game would look very different from the start from him, of course, too. So, let's see what happens as this Adept goes shading on up to the top side. Running around there, attack moving around as well. We'll head out over the right, and as the Stargate completes, just going to be seeing the starport about halfway done. The tech lab on the barracks. And you do see the Adept shading down into the center now here as well, so Adept continuing around the map. And we're just going to be seeing the Cyclone starting up from Bunny. Starport will finish, and will give access to a tech lab. Maybe a Raven early in the game, unless he wants to really change it up and go for like a Banshee. You know, click Banshee opener, try and catch Hurricane a bit off guard, do something a little bit different here perhaps. I mean, both some pretty realistic options. As you see, good Widowmine shot. So Ruby Grenade shot to bounce some Adepts backwards. A couple of probes will go down. The Oracle will be able to help out there as Intellions will drop as well. Cyclone coming, patrolling in the main, and again, there's our 2 gateways. Here comes some Adepts shading forwards. Seeing where they can go. The Oracle still hanging out overhead. The Adepts just continue to move over to this far right-hand side. Phoenix on the way up from Hurricane. Raven building in the main base. Bunny's command center just dropping into that main as well. We do see Widowmine burrows over on this side. The Cyclone's going to get on top of it. As the Adept shade in, they're going to pick off an SCV here. A couple of SCVs going down. 3 workers killed off, and Marines still pushing those Adepts away. So Adepts getting pushed back. Command center from Bunny in the main. The 3rd Nexus just about halfway done. Hurricane still building this up here. Forge, Twilight Council. Getting this started. And again, continue our Adepts to arrive in the upper left to get back home, and really just Bunny surviving, not really taking any damage. With the 3CC coming in, I kind of like it. Just tech structures from Hurricane 2 with the Phoenix, which can obviously maybe do some good harassment for the next little while. So that's what we're looking at here for the moment, as we do have the Phoenix and 2 Oracles heading down out into the center, and we'll continue down to the bottom of the map. So as Phoenix continue to move along here, and Hurricane over on the right. So you can see this Adept hanging out in the bottom left-hand corner, and Cyclone is able to lock on. I love that Widowmine hidden beneath the Cyclone. Gets a good connection right away. Auto turret comes down to help, and that's a Phoenix dead on top of what was already lost. So 2 Phoenix lost for, well, a Widowmine, Viking, and a Cyclone. It's not bad, though, because by shutting down the Phoenix count, you really do a lot here. Like, the Viking and the Cyclone aren't going to do a lot for the future. Oh, by the way, mech from Bunny. They're not going to do a lot in the future, but by killing off the Phoenix, you're kind of going to force more Phoenix for them to still be useful. And that's the problem, because then you're going to have to keep building Phoenix, of course, which maybe delays the rest of your tech. Good scout from Hurricane. Now knows that this is mech that he's playing against. Something we see in Fantasy do quite a lot lately with a mixture of success. See what Bunny can make happen here with the mech style on Thunderbird. Phoenix and Oracle's out through to the right-hand side. Fleet Beacon is starting up in the main. Charge about to complete in the next few moments. The Armory dropping down number 2 in that main base as well. The Oracle's dealing some good SCV damage here, so quite a bit of damage going down. 8 workers killed as the Marines just going to push units away, but man, Hurricane's finding some real value. 8 workers down so far. More Phoenix around the bottom, a couple of Oracles to the left, the Robo Facility, Stargate, Fleet Beacon. Another Forge. Well, on the way down, I mean, again, it's just everything you want here from Hurricane. And the Fleet Beacon's interesting because it sort of shows us what he might be planning to do against the Mech Star, which is just go straight into air units. And there's a carrier starting. So carrier already on the way up. Forge Chrono in, just going to be seeing more of these units from Hurricane hanging out the front as well. A couple of Phoenix flying across. Going to get in towards the natural here. SCV lifted, killed. Hey, Raven Interference Matrix is one of the Phoenix Interference Matrix is a second, keeps itself alive. Cool play by Bunny. I am just worried by the fact that carriers are already on the way though for Hurricane. So carriers coming out. Templar Archives drops down in the back of the third base. Stasis wards dropping in from the Oracles. Again, Refinery Command Center just getting set up at the front. Marines, tanks, all of this getting going. Fourth hatchery going to drop down. Fourth command center going to drop down then. So this is really just going to go. I mean, look at this. BC's being built already by Bunny. He's just going to go straight to battle cruisers. These guys have just skipped the mid game completely. They've both just decided to go straight into the mid game. It's crazy. That's actually kind of wild, I'm not going to lie. BC's continuing up then as we do see 2 Immortals, 2 carriers. Still in production, plus 1 vehicle, weapons and plating. So on the way out, the Immortals and carriers fighting their way through these rocks at the moment. Some rocks taking some damage, taking some hits. As though they will drop here, so rocks taken down, and just going to be seeing Hurricane moving around over the left-hand side a little bit now. 3 battle cruisers in production at a time. It's getting real crazy as those couple missile turrets are kept alive for the moment. So, and the Adept over to the right. Here comes Hurricane with a bit more of an army as well. Those dropping down Revelations. Marine going to get picked off by the Oracle, and just going to be seeing the Vikings and the Raven. Hang on in the skies. Their army is going to go and pick away these rocks. So they will go down. Bunch of missile turrets dropping in. Bunny as well, so send up a lot of that. We're going to see extra Zealots and Stalkers and High Templar, and Hurricane kind of just wants to go for this before Bunny reaches that kind of massive BCs. Anti-armor missile hits dead center on a lot of this, and the Raven trying to make its way away. Can it find a Matrix? It can on a carrier. So one of the carriers shut down here going into this. I mean, the question becomes, can he kill off the carriers in time? Anti-armor does so much for the BCs to help them deal a lot of damage here. A couple of Vikings in play as well, and Bunny looks as though he's actually pushing this back. I mean, these BCs seemingly untouched so far. Trying to get rid of the carriers there just will not make it happen. Super low as the BCs pulling back away in towards the base. Obviously teleport available, so it can teleport back on low HP. New tanks, so well, this tank already damaged, but it is going to be pulling back a little bit as well. SCVs will want to try and repair up these BCs, of course, try and get those back to health so they can survive the next few moments. You see the Yamato cannons now lining up, and that's a couple of carriers going to get shot out of the sky. That's a big difference made in this fight. Another couple of Yamatos, and all the carriers are gone. So now it's BCs versus the world, and one of the BCs finally drops. 24 SCVs lost in this, but man, Bunny will shut this down. What a fight from Bunny, as the Immortals will lift up and pull back away over to the top left-hand side. What was that? That was actually insane. That was really something else. Now Tempest being made as the answer to the BCs. Problem for BCs against Tempest is it's very difficult for the BCs to get on top of the Tempest, and obviously they do a lot of damage as well. Those Tempests Well, we'll get rid of one BC. Now the BCs, not all of these have teleport, right? Yeah, these two on the top side do not. There's one of those just about... one of those Tempest just about survives. This BC here, I mean, just look at the damage the Tempest Studio. Teleport Bunny! That one had teleport available. That was a mistake. And this was just a chase that didn't go anywhere for Bunny at all. He could have just sat back a little bit, I think, and built up, because I know Tempest on the way out, but chasing just achieved absolutely nothing for him here. You know, what was really good for him during these fights was the tanks on the ground that were able to hit Stalkers, etc. That made a big difference. You see SCVs. Repair this over, perhaps Zealot's going to go charging in. Immortals are lining up, and they will start to land on the Tempest. A couple of Tempests going down then is... the problem is the Tempest just do so much damage in this, and Hurricane is going to overrun Bunny here on Thunderbird. As you see, the Stalkers are continue to come in. All the BCs go down. This forward base goes down. GG for Bunny. Hurricane with the choice. Let's go into Acropolis. Bottom right-hand side, our red Terran player is Bunny, as this series is tied up 1-1. Taking on the blue Protoss player in the top left-hand side, it is Hurricane. Game 3 of our series. What will happen here? What happens next? SV is nibbling that probe. Good bit of damage being done at the moment. Minus 5 points for not having spooky break music for October. I'm sorry, Juvia. I just don't have... I don't have any spooky music. That's the problem. Well, I mean, it's hard enough to find decent-ish royalty-free music. Never mind decent-ish royalty-free and spooky music. Like, you're just asking for so many things at once. You know, at this point, you might as well just ask for, you know, Rifkin to talk about StarCraft 2, rather than whatever else he talks about during his streams. Bro, gonna drop the pylon over to the side there. Getting that ready to go. Next is about halfway done. Factory coming up in the main base. Let's see if he's continuing out. This proxy could be intriguing then. Let's see what's going to happen. Wanted to draw something spoopy for October 31st. Should draw me and Rifkin as ghosts trying to scare each other, because that's how stupid we are. That'd be typical me and Rifkin. Rifkin dresses up as a ghost. I dress up as a ghost. We're just like, wait! What? Because we hate each other. Hence we scare each other? I don't know. This made a lot more sense in my head before I said it out loud. The more I say it out loud, the more it's a terrible idea. This is why I don't come up with ideas a lot. This is why I just talk about the game and stay quiet. Adept is going to come shading up here, obviously. 2 SCVs down. He saw the proxied gateway, so Bunny knows about future aggression. As the Adept and the Stalker are going to be poking away at the orbital command on the natural here. Barracks is going to get dropped down. The reactor will be occupied. Just going to see this orbital command taking a bit more damage at the moment. There's more damage being done, and Twilight Council Robot Facility on the way up. Getting those up and running. We're going to see the Reaper from Bunny coming all the way over to to the left-hand side here. Stalker is getting grenaded around. Obviously, it's a full wall-off, right? So the whole idea of this is that it's very difficult to scout what's going on. This proxy gate isn't for anything more than just a bit of further light pressure, you know? It's not like a massive gateways or anything. But it does scare Bunny quite a bit, and now you've got to drop down a siege tank, and now finally he'll get back to the natural. But it's been a huge delay on this mining, which of course is very costly. Now the Marines will come out, and supported by the tank, might be able to make something happen. 4 Hellions will be joined by a medevac soon, so that'll be some counter pressure at least for our Terran to get across and to maybe deal some damage back for all of this delay he's had trying to expand himself. These units, if they don't recall, won't get into the main or the natural to defend, by the way, so it's only really that one Stalker. Okay, he's actually already killing off the pylon, so it's not going to be a full wall-off any longer. The medevac gets seen by the Stalkers in the middle of the map. That's a shame, because obviously now units should start coming in position. Well, he's actually going to keep chasing the medevac, which gets to high ground. Oh, no way! Has the vision still. The Reaper tried to save it. That's a really good call from Hurricane, because if those Hellions get into the main, he takes damage. But he obviously had the belief he could take it down, and he could. That's a very impressive call, not to just be... I'd be running my Stalkers back to the main base already to defend against this. Like, I'd be like, no way does this go down. Good call from Hurricane. Picks off the medevac with Hellions inside. Now these Stalkers from Hurricane gathering up in the center. A couple more barracks on the way down from Bunny. Third CC building as well, so he's getting into that mid-game quite nicely, quite comfortably. Just 11 workers damage, just that little bit more than where you'd like this to be. For the moment, you can see Hurricane does have the income advantage in the game, so you just want to be within like 8 or 7 or 8 workers is okay, but like 10 is a little scary. The third CC does help with the extra mule it will allow you to have. This Observer comes out over to the left. More Stalkers from Hurricane. Going left as well. 4 more gateways coming down. Templar Archives dropping in. +1 weapons, +1 armor, charge. All of these upgrades coming up so far as we do have the Marine picking its way through the pylon. Over on the right, Stalker's going to go blinking in, and that's going to be a dead Marine in the front as well. Bunker being savaged. There's a Marine tank army from Bunny. Presses out the front, Observer. He's going to unsiege him back away, and Hurricane taking quite a bit of damage already. His tanks obviously actually doing pretty well against the Stalkers in these lower numbers. If there was higher Stalker count, those tanks obviously in danger of being one-shot, then it's not really as pretty at all. But in this case, it actually works out kind of okay. He's going to pick away at this gateway, and just, well, again, establish himself on the third base. The Stalkers actually rotate around. We'll see the third. So can already get some kills over here, and looking just a little bit ahead of time, getting SCVs over in that position. Tanks will continue to come on forward, sieging up now. First tank in the back, second tank coming in as well. So far, 2 SCVs killed off here, so 2 SCVs taken down. Temple gathering up from Hurricane, a couple of Zealots as well. So army just gathering on the third base, a couple of extra siege tanks joining up also. And Bunny will just sit out in the front here. You see High Templar continuing forwards, the Stalks and Zealots joining up as well. Bio army of Bunny will set up on the right side, Watchtower taken for a moment, and just seeing Hurricane coming all the way out to the right side again. A lot of tanks, a lot of bio setting up together. 2 Liberators and a siege tank on the way out as well. So all of this joining up right now, and then again a couple SCVs repairing up siege tanks, so bringing those back up to health. So we're seeing Zealot Stalker applying some pressure on the bio. That's a nice scan to kill the Observer though. But he's pretty much all in. This kind of tank and Liberator push that he's setting up is the one push that has any hope here. And beyond it, I mean, you can already see just no +1 armor upgrade. 57 SCVs, no more being made. Storm is a real downer for Bunny at this moment, because Storm is the one thing that you don't really do well against in this scenario a lot of the time. Not only that, but also just SCV pulls are really negated by Storm as well. So if you wanted to SCV pull this to make it a bit more powerful, it doesn't really work. This army is going to go blinking in. He's going to go for this. Oh, the Storms are going to be brutal. The Storms are just going to zone out a lot, but he actually loses a lot of High Templar from the tank fire, so maybe Bunny can make this work, because he's going to kill the Immortal as well. He still has a lot of tanks alive. Liberators are alive too. This has got potential. 2 High Templar here. Do you have Storms? He needs to minimize the damage he takes from that, and well, they are pretty good Storms actually, all things considered. Liberators sieging up. Oh, the Archon morphing in range of the Liberators. Probably going to go down. mean, anything that Bunny can pick off to slow this down is amazing, of course, as here we go. Zealots from the right-hand side. So here we have the tanks just in trouble right away. These extra 2 Liberators showing up, sieging up now. Can Hurricane clean this out? It's looking pretty good for him. The Liberators are doing a lot of damage, mind you. I mean, they are really cleaning up a lot. There's only a couple Stalkers really left over here. But he's going to type GG, though, because the Zealots on the ground are just doing... In the top right-hand side, our blue Terran player. Give it up if you're cheering on Bunny. He is obviously hurting right now, down, and potentially out if he loses this map. Up against the red Protoss player in the bottom left-hand side, Hurricane. On match point, 1 map away from making this a decided match appearance from him today. Going to be Chrono boosting away at the moment. You just have probes on the way up, and 1 probe here from Hurricane just wandering across here early. Everyone's discussing global finals and stuff. I mean, I know I had this discussion on stream the other day. I don't really understand the time zone choice for the round of 16. But I don't think the round of 8 and semi-finals and finals all in one day is super terrible. Like, I feel like it might be okay, honestly. I mean, we do that every single time we have a WCS circuit stop. So I don't think it's super bad. It's only bad because obviously we only get 1 day of action instead of 2, but as someone who goes to BlizzCon, I actually kind of like it because for me it means I can spend 1 day watching StarCraft and 1 day doing all the other stuff I want to do at BlizzCon. Whereas usually I have to do 1 day... 1 day kind of... I usually have to, like, sort of miss a bunch of StarCraft games because I want to do the other stuff at BlizzCon as well, so... I kind of like it, personally. I mean, I know it's obviously not ideal, and obviously everyone's got their own preferences and stuff, but... I don't think it'll be super terrible, like people say. People are making out like, oh my god, these players... They're not going to play their best games because they're going to play too much. Like, no, guys. You play a best of 5. And then you wait a few hours and you play another best of 5, like... These guys are good enough to be able to do that. So... I'm just going to be seeing units find away. Command Center number 3 on the way up from Bunny in the main. Just going to be seeing our barracks dropping down that main base as well. Command Center from Bunny coming up in the natural. And we will see the Twilight Council about to finish from Hurricane in a few moments. The Adept wandering forwards. Going to be shading up, the Reaper coming down to the bottom left. But it's going to turn back around to help deny this Adept. 2 Marines, I mean, there's just so much pressure you can apply as a Protoss here. It requires a lot of micros, the Terran, to truly turn this around. There's a little bit of a mistake at one point there. The Adept does go down. That actually wasn't so bad. The Stalker shows up now, and this is where it gets a bit more annoying. Stalker's able to micro out range Marines. The Reaper will get some good shots off. Grenade will bop it away, and he's just going to Bunny start up a bunker just to make himself a little bit safer overall. Blink once again from Hurricane and the robot facility to go along with this. Continue to set up into that as we do have Stalker just pulling all the way back home. Remember, Bunny down 1-2. Hurting at the moment. A loss here eliminates him from the group and the tournament. Stalkers from Hurricane pressing forwards, going into the center. Stand back, +1 attack. Continue to get going here. Factory on the way down, and just going to be seeing a few more SCVs coming up, a couple more Marines, and a Marauder on the way out. Those Marines from Bunny just continue to gather up on the ramp as our Stalkers will press towards the front here. Bunker is able to turn. Stalkers away. Stalkers obviously can blink back over to that side, but nice little chase. Does get one Stalker at least, so Bunny able to deal some damage there. Nice little split back into the gases, into the depot. See Hurricane's game plan. Robo Bay Forge is already just going to set up into Colossus here, so getting this up, getting this rolling. You see the starboard from Bunny is starting as well. Last impact about to be finishing, and next tech lab and 2 more barracks going to start up also. So all of this getting ready to go. It's Hurricane just trying to apply some pressure at the front. So the third CC is there. Bunny not going to go anything too base all in. So those Marines going to chase the Observer, and they will get that kill. Nicely done. Good catch. Starboard lifts up, goes to the reactor. Factory builds up a reactor as well. 2 more barracks building in the main. Stalkers from Hurricane out to the left. Colossus and +1 attack on the way in. The Stalkers of Hurricane just back into the middle of the map, and SCV here going to mine out and create the pathway to give Bunny the third base up on that high ground. So taking that kind of pocket expansion is just going to take that triangular set of bases. Makes it difficult for the pros to push into him, of course. Hurricane doesn't do anything crazy by taking the forward rich Vespene Geyser. Will just expand up the left-hand side, which is good for him as well. I mean, pretty typical expansion patterns here so far. +1 armor on the way up. Combat shields coming in as well, and the Bio Army continue to go through the center. SCVs for SCVs going down. Stalker's still applying pressure. As the Bio arrives, Bunny has +1 for this attack, so he has a little bit of an advantage here. The Zealots go down pretty quickly. That one Colossus still dealing damage. Shield battery coming online. Bunny will be pushed away. Felt like the start of this fight went okay for him, but then kind of just lost momentum towards the end. Stalker still blinking in. Another Marauder taken down. More units jumping into the medevac here. Nice blink from the Stalker. Picks off another medevac as well. Starport on the way up in the main base. All of this Bio from Bunny hanging out between the natural and the third. Missile turret going to drop down here, and again, the Army of Hurricane coming down the bottom side. Oh, 10 probes go down. Wouldn't mind dropping the main, so Hurricane is going to take some damage. Fusion core on the way up from Bunny, as we do see the second starport about to complete in this main base as well. So we're going to have 2 starports up and running. Attack lab will start from Bunny as well. Stalker's blinking down the bottom. Hurricane is trying to find this Widowmine drop and to shut that down. It's actually still just been sat here. At this point, the Widowmines can probably go back in and burrow for another kill or so. You can see the Stalkers warping in preparation. So yeah, Fusion Core coming up. This is just for Liberator range, so Bunny going to build into a good Liberator count here early on. Advanced Ballistics coming up, the Storm upgrade coming through. Charge coming down, the Stalker's blinking, picks off the medevac. Widowmine does get burrowed in the main, at least will force a little bit of detection. The second Widowmine burrows on what could be a potential base at some stage, so I mean, making the most out of something that's not really going to do much else otherwise. Bio still pressing in here and hanging out on the bottom as we see an army of Hurricane up the top. Advanced Ballistics coming down. 3 Liberators in production. Hurricane's army. Just wondering. Looking for openings, looking to see what's going on. A little bit of Bio going to be hanging out, and Liberators will come out the front as well. Hurricane out into the center of the map. Bio will press forwards. Zealot goes down. A couple of other Zealots getting ready to run on into this. But Rhea's going to siege, and it's going to be good zoning, of course. Bunny maxed out. It's kind of a terrifying army, isn't it? You see this Terran army setting up against you as a Protoss, and you're like, wow, just isn't pretty. It's not what you want to be playing against at all. More Liberators sieging in the center there. Plus, this will take a Marine down pretty quickly. Nexus in the top left-hand side from Hurricane 2. Just seeing this Bio Forces continuing over the left-hand side. A couple more Liberators. Ghost Academy on the way up. I mean, Hurricane's always just looking for the base trade himself because he has no better option. A couple Storms and Libs initially will do some decent early damage, right? And it gets a little bit done. There is more Storms available, and Bunny cannot just go running into those. Hurricane Disruptor as well. Bunny with the massive splits. It's a lot of damage across the map. This army continue to press forward. Zealots are being dealt with on the third for the moment. Hurricane has so many bases, though, that this might not go well here for Bunny just because of how much he has to deny. At the same time, he does have Liberator set up defensively. The Lib range goes a long way to helping out. That's a nice blink. Oh, and a Storm as well. Oh my god, the Storms on that ramp are disgusting. Bunny's losing so much. On the other side, the push continues. Zealots are going to warp in. Stalker's still trying to pick away at Liberators here. Zealots will charge. I mean, this army is actually very low HP as the Stalkers blink to the other side. Will try and get a couple of the Libs. The Zealots are just doing so much, though. Bunny has just lost everything. I mean, he did not trade well over here. And the combination of just a lot of good Storms have really done a lot. Hurricane takes the series 3-1.